Welcome back, guys, to a review of season 1 of Moon Knight. Now, this is going to be another spoiler review. I will go ahead and let you know when the spoilers are going to start in this video. So, if you have not seen Moon Knight or season 1 of Moon Knight yet at all 6 episodes are now on Disney Plus. The final episode of season 1 just aired this past week. So, yeah, if you haven't checked it out yet, go ahead and check it out. I'm going to go ahead and get right into the non-spoiler review part of the video. So, well, before I kick it off, actually, make sure you leave a like if you like this video, and go ahead and... So, what can I say? Probably the best Marvel show so far on Disney Plus. Loki was really good as well. Loki was obviously setting up. If you haven't seen it yet, it basically sets up, the rest of the MCU for the next however many years. Without giving away any spoilers, if you're into, the out-of-the-box ideas, if you were a fan of the recent Doctor Strange movie that just came out, and if you haven't seen it, also, my review of Doctor Strange and then the Multiverse of Madness is also the video right before this one, so go ahead and check it out if you haven't already. So we finally found out in the season finale that, we finally saw Mark and Steven's third personality finally came to fruition. We've been anticipating it all season. At least we hoped that they were going to do it. They kind of nodded at it in episode 5, which in my opinion was the best, by far episode, I think, of any Marvel series so far. Just being honest, it was so good. You really felt Mark's pain throughout the whole episode. So, and that in my opinion is the best episode for all of season 1 of Moon Knight. Now, that's not to say that, the whole series, the whole season was great. And just to, say now, it would definitely be a complete waste if they didn't go ahead with the second season, or at least, continue to use the character of Moon Knight, Mark Spector, Stephen Grant, and the third personality that I will reveal in the spoiler. If I had to rate it 1 out of 10, I'll go ahead and give it. I'm honestly gonna change my rating, because I rated Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness a 7.5. I actually think I'm gonna rate it an 8.5 out of 10, and I'm also gonna rate Moon Knight, season 1 of Moon Knight, probably an 8 out of 10. It was actually really, really good. Completely shocked, because I had very little to no knowledge about the character whatsoever. All I knew was that he was kind of Marvel's version of Batman, like a supernatural Batman, so to speak. So that's mainly what interested me in the series in the first place. So I would definitely recommend it. Like I said, all 6 episodes are on Disney Plus right now. Definitely go check it out. So now is going to be the spoiler review part of this video. So if you haven't seen it already, take a hike. If not, stick around. If you plan on going to see it anyway, or seeing it anyway, just stick around. Not much. I'm going to talk about stuff and possible implications for the MCU ahead, but that's mainly what I'm going to hit on, because there's so many things that they can do future-wise with just season 1 alone, with what the implications are. So season 6, we see, from season 4 or season 4, episode 4 on, I think so, or no, take it back, excuse me, episode 3 and on, we kind of get a glimpse and more of a glimpse into the other Egyptian gods. I mean, we already got introduced to Khonshu, the god of the moon, for Egyptian mythology and folklore. But we got introduced to Osiris, the avatar for Osiris. Guess I should have touched on that first. The Egyptian gods in the MCU, for lack of a better term, just use human beings as, I mean, in a way, slaves. Because I mean, if they're anything like Khonshu, they're not really given the whole truth, and then once they take over the avatar's body in order to perform a certain task, they don't really remember, at least when it happens to Mark or Steven or whatever, they don't remember at all. So take that back. When the personality switches, they don't remember anything. They remember everything perfectly fine when they're in their avatar state, I guess. Which is kind of funny. That's a Avatar: The Last Airbender reference, but anyway. So yeah, we the season finale, we saw Khonshu fight Ahmed, another Egyptian god, and she was her avatar was Haro, who, master manipulator. I mean, I can definitely name a few big people today that I could definitely put up there with him, because he was pretty damn good at getting what he wanted, and not really caring who he stepped on to get it. So yeah. Other than that, I mean, when I said earlier about the future implications for the MCU, I was referring to, I mean, you obviously have the Egyptian gods introduced into the MCU, which is pretty big, because as of whenever we only had Norse gods, Thor, Loki. I think we had, I mean, count the Celestials, sorta. They got introduced as well. They got introduced in Guardians of the Galaxy, and then again in Eternals. So yeah, I mean, we haven't really, other than Thor, Loki, and all that, we haven't really had a little dip into the other gods of other folklores. And now the reason why I say that this will probably play a role in say Thor: Love and Thunder is because the main villain in Thor: Love and Thunder is Gore, the God Butcher. So like the Egyptian gods were using their avatars as a way into our realm for for whatever reason. They left our realm, I guess, because they felt Osiris had mentioned using his avatar in the chamber. He mentioned that they thought that humanity had abandoned them, and Khonshu was upset with them because he felt like that they just gave up too easily on humanity. So whatever realm they're in, maybe they're on a different planet. I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but and how Goro would even get to them to kill them, because that's his thing. He hates all gods. So I feel like that's definitely gonna play a role. If not, it wouldn't be that too bad, because we haven't really, other than their avatars and whatnot, we haven't really, the only ones that we've seen is Tawal, I'm gonna butcher the name, Tawalwet. She's the goddess of women and children. She guides people into the afterlife. Khonshu, Ammit. Yeah, I mean, those are the only Egyptian gods that we actually physically saw their forms. So yeah, I feel like it's gonna play at least a little role. If not, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked, but it would, yeah, I mean, it would kind of be a little bit of a missed opportunity, even if it was only like a little snapshot of, a dead Egyptian god, Thor stumbles upon, whatever, but Let's see. Yeah, hopefully, they have a, what is it? The new video game that's supposed to, multiplayer video game is supposed to be coming out here soon. It's also a Marvel, based on a Marvel comic as well. Was it Marvel Rising Suns, something like that. Sorry, I promise I'm a Marvel fan. I'm also a DC fan, but there's just so much information to remember and take in along with everything else. But yeah, a part of that team, I mean, you typically had MoonKnight, Ghost Rider, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, you know, Captain America, I believe Wolverine, and a few others, and they kind of like switched and swapped around, you know, depending on the universe or the, you know, the iteration of comic or whatever. But yeah, it's really interesting. They can definitely do a lot more with the character MoonKnight than I think people realize. So yeah, yeah. Other than that, the series as a whole was amazing. I mean, Oscar Isaac, wow, just amazing. The way that he switched back and forth between Steven and Mark, it was insane. Like, I've never seen that before. Other than, you know, with the movie Split with James McAvoy, I haven't really seen anything like that since, until now. So, freaking phenomenal job. The actress that, you know, I don't know her name off the top of my head, but the actress that plays the role of Layla, phenomenal job too. I felt her pain over her father, you know, being murdered, and yeah, it was just, yeah, it was really good. Again, I'm at a loss for the name of the actor, but the actor that voices Khonshu, such a good voice, such a good voice. That was a that was pretty much perfect pick. I don't really know anyone that, I mean, there could have been others, but you know, that they had lined up, but he was a really good choice. And yeah, I mean, I don't really have too many, other than, you know, like I said before, I knew hardly nothing about the character going in. I think almost everyone was in the same boat. So other than that, you know, there was a little bit of confusion early on in the series because you didn't know, like, you know, how they were going to do it, and you were confused on who, you know, if he was actually Steven or if he was actually Mark, and he was just turning into Steven or Mark. And then, yeah, other than that, we, you know, once we got into it, once we got, you know, past episode 2, and then, you know, season 3, or episode 3, episode 4, definitely episode 5, oh my gosh, it was, it really kicked off. So, yeah, I think that we'll go ahead and conclude, yeah, my review of season 1 of MoonKnight. I would definitely recommend if you go see it, for sure. I mean, it's basically its own thing, so it doesn't, as of the end of season 1, it doesn't really tie into the rest of the MCU. It's kind of, it's again, same thing with Doctor Strange in a way. It's, other than the, you know, the post-credit scenes and, you know, whatever, it doesn't really tie into, you know, there's not major tie-in to the rest of the MCU. You know, there's a lot of guesswork really going on right now. There's so many things that they could do. So, but MoonKnight, you know, as a whole, is, you know, it can be considered its own standalone thing, and they definitely better do a second season, because if they don't, I mean, it was, I'm just going to be honest, it was a waste. Like, they wasted their time on a character because they just didn't capitalize on the different opportunities. So, but yeah, so if, like I said again, if you guys like this video, go ahead and leave a like and leave a subscribe. Yeah, you guys have a great night.